In this lesson, let's learn about the trigonometric function of y equals sine x. 三角関数とそのグラフ y equals sin x のグラフ Let's think about sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta in the angle theta. Consider a unit circle with the radius r equals 1, as shown in the figure. For a point A, parentheses x, y, on the unit circle, sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta can be expressed as follows. X equals cosine theta, y equals sine theta, y over x equals sine theta over cosine theta, which is also equal to tangent theta. Therefore, on the unit circle, from angle theta, we know the x-coordinate is represented by cosine theta, the y-coordinate by sine theta, and the slope by tangent theta. These are called the sine, cosine, and tangent of angle theta. Now let's check y equals sine x with specific values. By plugging in specific values for when x is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 2x, we know the max is 1 and the min is -1. Which means the range of y equals sine x is greater than or equal to -1 and less than or equal to 1. Let's draw a graph based on the values in the table. The graph of y equals sine x will be a curved graph like the one shown in the figure. A graph with such a shape is called a sine curve. Now let's solve a practice problem. When x is a real number, draw a graph of y equals 3 sine x. First, let's look at the trigonometric functions we have available to us. Sine theta, cosine theta, and tangent theta. In this problem, we know the trigonometric function we will use is the one for sines. Next, let's see what changes there are to the basic form. We know that since sine x is only being multiplied by 3, there's no translation on the x-axis. Let's draw a graph by substituting specific values, pi over 6, pi over 3, pi over 2, etc. The graph of y equals 3 sine x will look like the figure. Now let's do some practice. Press the pause button and try to solve the practice problem. Once you are finished, press the resume button and mark what you got correct. Now let's check our answers. In y equals 4 sine x plus 5, we can see sine x is multiplied by 4 and then added to by 5. In other words, we are moving up 5 on the y-axis. For number 2, in y equals 2 sine parentheses x minus pi over 3 parentheses, sine x is multiplied by 2. We also know there's a translation of pi over 3 on the x-axis. Were you able to answer both questions correctly? That concludes this lesson.